to open with some thoughts and ideas from Sister Jayanti Kirpalani, who's with the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. Sister Jayanti is well known to those of us who work in climate justice issues. And Sister, I think I know you as a teacher of meditation, as a teacher of engaging with the living world, applying our spiritual concentration of powers on the challenges that face us. What for you is the message to this conference?
Thank you, and thank you to IUCN for hosting this and inviting us to come together. And I think the message to the leaders who are gathered here would be that it's time for a change of consciousness and a movement into the unlimited. Whilst we see ourselves as particular individuals belonging to one particular nationality, race, gender, any one of those things that are external and divisive, we're never going to be able to find solutions which are global solutions. And I think that when we go beyond the consciousness of I and my and mine, which is the essence of all spiritual teachings, I think, then going beyond this into the unlimited consciousness, then we have a possibility of seeing the planet as our home, the home for all, the one home we all share, and secondly, to see the whole world as my family. And when I change my consciousness from my limited consciousness and my very narrow perspective to this unlimited perspective, then I think that the decisions we make are going to be very different. In terms of the philosophy and the theology from a spiritual perspective, what I'd like to share is that when we've had a materialistic consciousness, when my mind and my heart are associated with matter, with my physical limited identity, then I've sought happiness from the world outside of me, because there's an emptiness inside. And of course, that's what's led to materialism and consumerism. And you can buy the latest phones, you can buy the latest cars and still have total discontent inside. And of course, then we also see when there's discontent, there's anger and friction and conflict that results. Spirituality says the treasures of the spirit lie within. And when there's the experience of inner silence, and we're able to go on that inner journey, through that experience of the inner journey, we find contentment, truth, love, and joy. And when we are able to be in touch with ourselves and in touch with the one up above, that vertical connection is restored with strength, with faith, with love, then the relationships that exist on the horizontal level amongst all people, between people and all forms of life, between people and the elements of nature itself, is one of respect. When I lose touch with myself, I've lost touch with the Creator, I've lost my value for myself, my own inner dignity and self-esteem, and I'm not able to give respect to people around me or the world outside around me either. We have a very simple statement that says, inside out. And whatever is going on inside is what gets reflected outside. And if inside there's an emptiness of spirit, then that gets reflected outside in the conflict. But when there's a fullness and an abundance and a richness inside, then my life can be of simplicity. I don't need a huge amount. And I'm willing to share and give to others. When there's an emptiness, it's a spirit of taking, of wanting more and more. And so for me, it's very much a spiritual crisis that the world is going through. The spiritual crisis is then reflected in the ecological crisis that we see around us, or even in the humanitarian crises that keep multiplying day by day. But once we sort out the inner spiritual crisis, then I think together we can move forward and there can be a better world. I also want to say that apart from meditation, silence, reflection, contemplation, and spiritual study, and the nourishment of the spirit that comes through all of this, we're very much also into practical action. One is, of course, sharing these ideas, raising consciousness, changing awareness, so that then people begin to see things from a different perspective. And when I can see things differently, then my attitude changes, my behavior changes also. So our most important task, I believe, is that of raising consciousness. The second very practical action is that we have here one of our experts who's been researching and developing our solar energy systems, and at the moment we are constructing a 1 megawatt solar thermal power station, which is going to be able to serve a township of about 30,000 and maybe more. And so very much practical action of using the renewable energies that have been provided by nature. Thirdly, we're into agricultural farming, but through yogic, sustainable methods, using the power of pure thoughts and good wishes with seeds and planting and so on. And then the last thing, yes, of course, planting trees, millions and millions of trees. And where people have said the soil is infertile, we've seen that with good vibrations, good wishes, fruit trees have yielded hundreds of kilos of fruits just within the space of a few years. So many things to share, but I'm aware of time and eminent people with me on the panel. So thank you very much for allowing